Today, we're going to be talking about QuickBooks App Ecosystem and the guide to selecting and integrating apps with QuickBooks Online. So I'm Nadine Augustine, and I'm going to be talking you through everything about apps and the app ecosystem. So a little bit about myself. I'm a QuickBooks advisor. I'm part of the Intuit Trainer Writer Network. I'm a co-founder of Ecom Accountants, and I'm a registered business accountant. So at Ecom Accountants, we really do focus on e-commerce clients and retail clients. So that is really something that I'm quite passionate about. So that's why we're going to be speaking more on the inventory and e-commerce side. And I'm going to show you a few of my favorite apps that we use in our firm. But everything that we're going to talk on today is all about apps that's going to help you and your clients make your lives easier. So what we're going to look at today is payroll and time management softwares. So this is something that probably everybody needs or every firm needs. We're going to look at expense management and data imports. So that can also help you get things done much quicker. We're going to look at inventory management apps, customer relationship management apps, and of course, we're going to end it off with e-commerce apps. So why is the ecosystem and third-party apps important to your practice? So firstly, I want to say that yes, apps are very important, but it is not like a necessity. QuickBooks Online is built with so much of features and has so much of capabilities that it can run on its own. A lot of businesses and accountants have the misconception that the accounting system these days cannot operate without a third-party app, and that is not the case. QuickBooks Online, for example, has an amazing inventory management software. It has amazing projects feature. It has amazing invoicing feature. So it does have tools that you can use on its own in its own accounting software. But if your client needs something specialized and needs something that QuickBooks Online doesn't have, that is when you're going to need a third-party app. So remember, always have that conversation with your client beforehand to decide whether a third-party app is necessary. So if you've decided and you're ready to go on that app journey, you need to think about a repetitive task that takes a big chunk of your time each week, and imagine automating that task so you can focus on your clients, building your firm, or maybe even taking some much needed time off. Because this is what these third-party apps can do. They can save you time. So smaller firms are also providing their clients a more holistic approach to business services by incorporating different technologies into their service offering. So learning how to use these different apps can also help you level up in the playing field and make you look a little bit more of an expert. So you're going to increase your competitive advantage by saying you're an app specialist. So, however, no matter which apps and programs you're using, keep in mind that you really have to find the right solution for your client. So let's say you are a specialist in Shopify, for example, and that's an e-commerce app, but your client uses, let's say, WooCommerce, but you only use Shopify. You need to understand that there is a need by your client, and you need to look at which solution is going to be best for them. And if you can't assist them in, let's say, the implementation because your knowledge is not there, look at getting advice from another app specialist to help you through that journey. Don't force your client into a specific app just because you might know the app well enough. It's all about you and your client and what's going to help them the best and what's going to save them the time and what's going to give them the right tools. Because at the end of the day, we want to make their lives easier and help their businesses. Before we dig into the different types of apps, we're going to talk about introducing automation with intelligence. So accountants are best suited to recognize opportunities to automate cumbersome processes. For example, if a small business has been processing payroll the old way, we know that there are apps that will reduce human errors and help employees receive funds faster. So there we're going to look at these amazing payroll softwares out there. And they are so helpful and so user-friendly. So as an accountant who provides app advisory services, our number one role during an app engagement is to protect the integrity of the accounting system. And what we mean about that, or what I mean about that, is the fact that this external app or this third-party app is actually going to talk to your accounting system. They're going to talk to each other. So if this third-party app's data is not correct and not run correctly, it's going to push the wrong data into your cloud accounting software, and that accounting data is going to be flawed. So you need to be really careful and really specific about what data you put in there into the third-party app, and that it's running correctly so that the integration is seamless. So what we do in our firm is whenever we take on a client that needs a third-party app, we really go through the training process and the implementation process to really show them how it works, how it integrates, how to use it correctly. And if you don't use it correctly, what is going to be the implications? Because you don't want a client coming back to you and saying, you know what, this is not working for me, the data is corrupt, the data is incorrect. And the reason for that being is because you know that is because one of the softwares was not worked on correctly and messed up both software's information. So for us, what we do at our firm is we look at every client and try to understand what they do and what they need. Where are their pain points? What are they struggling with in their day-to-day processes that we can help them with an app? So if we look at an inventory app, for example, maybe they have such a redundant process where everything is manual, they are losing stock, they don't have a back ordering system, they don't know what their stock levels are, they have a lot of human error, and it's just not working well. And it's taking them days on end to capture information, and your client is actually thinking of hiring a second person to fulfill the duties. So then we come in as app advisors and say, you know what, let us look and find the right solution for you that can help solve these problems. What we then do is we go in and we show them a demo, or we get the app companies to demo their 3 solutions that we've picked out. And then we let the client decide which one they think is going to work the best for them. Once we've done that, we then go ahead and start the implementation process, put in dates in which we're going to go ahead and say, this is when we're going to have this completed, this is when we're going to have the next step completed, until the end. And I think with app advisory, it's really important to define your role. So once your client has selected the app, you need to decide, is your role going to stop there? Or are you going to come on as a support person? Are you going to help with the implementation? Or are you going to be involved in the ongoing management of the third-party app? So I think in the beginning, you might want to just be involved in the implementation phase and let the app specialist handle the rest. And as you become more comfortable with the software, then you can move up and say, you know what, I'm going to now provide you with support and even help with the daily management of the app. So app advisors really have a very intricate role to play, and it will really put you in a different ballpark in the industry. It's a very specialized niche industry to be involved in, because you do have to have quite a bit of tech knowledge and a bit of IT knowledge as well. because you need to know how the integration works, what speaks to what will happen if this goes to that place, and everything around it. So it is a long process to understand it and become a real specialist in it. But I think as we are heading into a cloud firm and a cloud practice, and a cloud digital era, it is so important that we start this journey, because apps are the future. They are going to be the thing that helps any business with any problem. So what is great is that QuickBooks Online has an entire app page dedicated to all the apps that can integrate with QuickBooks Online. So 86% of customers, as you can see on the slide, agree that apps for QuickBooks Online helps them save time. So on this app page, and you can find it in your QuickBooks Online software, you'll find all of the apps which can help you. And they're obviously grouped in different categories. So have a look, find which one's going to work for you and your client, specific to your client's needs, and then shortlist them, and then start with those demos. So next, we're going to look at the few different types of app, let's say, categories that really has helped us in our firm and that we use. So we're going to start with payroll and time management. So I think this is a really important one that every firm has to have and every firm has to implement. And it's payroll and time management, because every client needs payroll. No matter how big or how small, payroll software is a must. Whether you have 1 or 1,000 employees, payroll is going to be a must, because you have to do it to keep compliant with all the legislative changes and all your HR management needs. So I've put here 3 different apps that you can look at, but there are a lot more. So the one that we use in our firm is Simple Pay. As it says, it's an easy online payroll system, and it's a payroll software that simply works. And that is exactly that. It is so user-friendly. Anyone can understand it. We actually get our companies or our clients to go in and log their hours, log their leave. So we give them that training because it's so flexible. It has this amazing employee portal where they can view all of their pay slips, make changes, apply for leave. It has all your filing requirements, so you can file directly to specific governing bodies, and it's really easy and user-friendly. It's simple. So they are also in several countries, and that's really nice. So you do have that flexibility there. Then we're going to look at PaySpace. So PaySpace is maybe in the middle between Cloud Pay and Simple Pay. It's a little bit more on the payroll and HR aspect. So what they say is we simplify payroll so that you can focus on what matters most about growing your business. And just that I want to mention is that all of these apps integrate seamlessly with QuickBooks Online. So it will send your payroll file to QuickBooks Online, and you're just going to match that pay that you've actually paid the staff to it, so that you know that everything balances every single month. So PaySpace is another really amazing tool. I know that it is in a few countries, specifically in the African countries. So that's another great tool to look at. And then we've got Cloud Pay. So Cloud Pay is in over 130 countries. And I think this is the biggest of them all when we look at integrating with QuickBooks Online. So their saying or their slogan is experience modern global payroll with powerful integrations and unified processes. So this is a really powerful tool. It's got a lot of processes, a lot of integrations, a lot of validation. So if you have a really big payroll file or a lot of different locations, you're sitting in different countries, this is the right payroll file to use because it has a lot of functionality and a lot of audit trails, a lot of approvals that you can use. So go have a look at each one, go have a look at different payroll softwares and find the one that's going to work for you and for your client specifically, because we also know that every client type payroll is different. Then we're going to look at expense management and data import. So on these, this is all about automation and efficiencies. It's also about giving your client back some responsibility, of course, and to get that supplier paperwork submission done and images uploaded by them. And with that, I'm talking about Dext. So Dext is absolutely amazing. It's the #1 pre-accounting tool for accountants and bookkeepers. So there's no more data entry, no more paperwork. So QuickBooks Online also has a receipt capture functionality. So bear in mind, if you want to start small, use the receipt capture in QuickBooks Online. But if you have those clients that have over 1,000 slips every month, try out Dext. It is really an amazing tool. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. It can also convert PDF bank statements. So if you still have clients that are sending you PDF bank statements, or if you need to do a big catch up of clients' books, this is a great tool to use for that. So this is a great tool that we use in our business every day. So we have a lot of restaurant clients. So this is an amazing tool for them to use to manage their suppliers. And again, it integrates directly into QuickBooks Online. And it has this artificial intelligence where it's going to remember where your supplier should be allocated to. It's going to extract all of your taxes. It has all of the bells and whistles that you need to run your practice more efficiently. And then if we look at Sassant, this is everything about bulk importing, exporting, and deleting transactions for QuickBooks Online. So this helps when you have a client who puts a lot of data into QuickBooks Online, whether it's invoices, bills, whatever it may be. You can import that data, you can export that data, you can change that data, you can delete that data. So you can do a lot of fixing, and this can help with the onboarding process of new clients. So have a look at these two. It's really something to utilize and make sure you're using in your firm. Then we're going to look at inventory management, and this is where it gets exciting. So there's a lot in the market. So as I did mention, QuickBooks Online has a basic stock management system, but if you're a manufacturer or if you have multiple warehouses, then you're going to need an advanced inventory management system. And why I say that is because these softwares have your different pricing levels. It's got different warehouses, it's got different locations. It's got these amazing business to business platforms. So if you're selling wholesale and you're selling directly to a business, they have this amazing login functionality where they can go in and just choose what they want. So it makes your customer's experience better, your customer's customer experience more easier. So it's just about finding the right tools to choose. And all of these integrate with QuickBooks Online, and it's really a fantastic tool. So if we look at the three, we're going to start with Dia System. So they're actually changing to Sin 7 Core, but everybody knows it as Dia currently. So it's a reliable inventory management software system for B2B e-commerce or commerce to completely manage and control stock. And this integrates with e-commerce. So that's really great. So you can have an external or Shopify store or Amazon store, and it will connect with your Dia and your QuickBooks Online. So now it's not just, 3 different softwares everywhere. It's everything that's talking to each other. And it can also stand alone. You don't have to have an external site because it has this amazing B2B platform. So you don't have to have an external website if you're only selling business to business. You just add on that B2B module and everything works amazingly. So here you can track stock, you can do back orders, you can do price levels. What's really amazing with this is you can actually set custom prices on certain stock. items that you sell for certain customers. So it has so much flexibility. And I think what's important with these is the user permissions. All of these have very granular, detailed user permissions. So it really makes your whole process more structured and your workflow easier. So you've got your picking, your packing, your shipping, everything handled in one place. SOS Inventory, if we look at that, it's an inventory order management and manufacturing software for small to medium-sized businesses. It's also cloud-based. So all of these are cloud-based softwares. And then we look at Unleashed. So they actually say it's the world's easiest inventory software for your business. It's a powerful inventory management solution that helps your business grow. So why I say maybe Dia is my favorite out of the three is that it integrates with your e-commerce. It gives you that flexibility to have one solution for all. But again, it's what your client wants and what your client needs. Really, don't give them the bells and whistles if they only want the bell. So really focus on what is needed by your client and help them with that. Then we're going to look at CRM, customer relationship management, and I'm going to quickly talk on Intuit MailChimp. So as we know, Intuit has purchased MailChimp and it has a direct integration with QuickBooks Online. And why it's so important is because everything that happens in QuickBooks Online, all your sales history, all your sales data, all of your customer data will be transmitted into MailChimp. So you can send custom campaigns, custom messages to your clients based on their sales history. So this is a really important tool for your CRM management or your customer relationship management, because it's going to help you grow your business, stay in touch with your clients, and help just, keep everything in one place, help everything form in this ecosystem of apps that all talk to each other. So really something to look at. And lastly, we're going to touch on my favorite, e-commerce. So as I was preparing for this, I was actually quite surprised by the different types of e-commerce platforms that QuickBooks Online integrates with. And it just shows you that QuickBooks Online is really built for the e-commerce industry. And I think why e-commerce is so important is because if anything, the COVID-19 pandemic has definitely forced businesses to reassess how they can still provide products and services to a target market in lockdown. So a lot of brick and mortar stores closed down because they did not adapt. But if you move to e-commerce and e-commerce platforms, that can make a whole difference because you're delivering your products and services to their doorstep. They don't have to come to you. You basically go to them by using the internet. So e-commerce platforms are really on the rise and it's on the increase. And we've seen so many brick and mortar stores have an additional e-commerce store or close down their brick and mortar store completely and just have an e-commerce store. And they've seen so much of improvement in their sales. And I think having an e-commerce store is so important, and having it linked to your QuickBooks Online, not just because of MailChimp, but because of the ease of use with the accounting, it's a must to increase your efficiency and streamline your productivity. So in our firm, we use Shopify. And the reason for that is because it handles everything from your marketing, your payments, your shipping, your checkout, your refunds, everything in one place. And you don't need to have an IT degree to create an e-commerce store with Shopify. It's got hundreds of professional themes for you to choose from. And honestly, a 5-year-old can go and build these templates. It's so easy to use. You can build your store in a day. So you can get up and running really quickly. It's got this unlimited 24/7 support. You fully host it. So you don't have to worry about paying an external host or anything like that. It's obviously got mobile app friendliness to it. So you can have an app, and it's just really amazing in my opinion. And it works really well with QuickBooks Online. Then what I've seen is there's WooCommerce integrations as well as Magento. So with WooCommerce, it is built on WordPress, so fully customizable. So you can go and create it exactly how you want it. You are going to need an IT professional to assist you with this build. You've got a lot of different beautiful designs, and you can sell obviously anything online, but you're going to have to physically go and get a different person to help with your shipping, a different company to help with your payment and everything around it. And then you've got Magento, which is probably the bigger one of them, and that just syncs everything together. And the connection between all of them is to sync your orders, your products, and your inventory from your e-commerce stores to QuickBooks Online. And from QuickBooks Online, if you have MailChimp, it will then sync to that, and you can create these amazing campaigns. And another one that I saw that I didn't mention here is Etsy. A lot of people are using Etsy now. A lot of small businesses are starting with Etsy stores. And Etsy is also integrated into QuickBooks Online. So that is a really amazing little snippet of what you can do with e-commerce. It's so powerful, so amazing, and it's something I'm really passionate about. And I think the sky's the limit with it. So the sky is the limit with apps. You can go as small as you want or as big as you want with it. But remember, you can get overwhelmed. So really start small, see what's necessary in the beginning and work your way up. See what your client needs, what's their pain points, where they're struggling, and where they need improvement, and guide from there. And I just want to thank you so much for listening. I know it was a mouthful, but really go ahead and look at the different apps and how they can help you and your business. And again, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.